Many of you have probably already been to Walmart for some budget shopping to get yourselves a gift netbook or mini notebook computer. And you've probably already seen the HP Steam 11. So basically, this review, you might consider this late. I've done a lot of HP laptop and desktop reviews this year because I've purchased a lot of equipment. But this is technically late because even though I've seen these before, this was the first time I actually wanted to buy one. The reason why I'm buying this is because the girl that I bought a laptop for, she needed something smaller and in order to take back and forth to work. And she didn't feel like lugging around a larger 15-inch screen laptop. So I said, okay, fine, I'll get this. And thanks to the fact that Windows now has Windows 10, where almost all of your settings are automatically ported over cyberspace from one computer to the next, I figured this would work really well for her because any of her work that she does on Microsoft Office or any of her work that she does in on Windows in general, it'll automatically be ported over to the next computer from one place to the next to the work computer. This computer has a 2.16 gigahertz Celeron that has a max speed of 2.58 gigahertz. It has 2 gigabytes of system RAM, and it has a 32 gigabyte hard drive. The only problem with a 32 gigabyte hard drive is the fact that the only way to expand this, since this is a solid state drive, the only way to expand it is to put in an SD card. Now, you can get SD cards up to 32 gigabytes, possibly even 64 if you have SDHC, but ultimately the problem is these things really should come with 64 gigabytes at least. And the reason why is because if you want to install Windows 10, you're going to have to install it from a USB thumb drive. If you download Windows 10 and attempt to install it from the hard drive, you're not going to be able to do so. As you can see here, Hewlett-Packard obviously also sells 500 gigabyte hard drives with 4 gigabytes of RAM in Windows 8 and Windows 10 computers. And Windows 8 is quickly being replaced by the better and superior Windows 10. But these computers are $100 to $200 more. So this is just a smaller, less expensive option. As you can see, the shopping doesn't stop. We're getting a Sony 40-inch and a 43-inch LED smart TV here. And I'll probably do video reviews about those later. This is what happens when you gotta do last-minute Christmas shopping. Oh, there's also this Blu-ray player by Sony that says that you can actually play PlayStation 3 games directly on this Blu-ray player. And I'm also getting Barry Gordy's Last Dragon, because this is a really good movie, 20 or 30 years ago. And, some juices right here, because, I got to get the alcohol so that we can have a good night, So you just stay tuned to the Big Truck Series review show, and I'll be doing reviews. In fact, I also bought an iPad Pro, so I'll probably do that review probably Monday or Tuesday or something like that. Sales on televisions. You can get 50 inches now for typically they're trying to get rid of as much of this stuff as they can. But as you can see, it's going to be a great day for Big Truck Series review. So I got lots and lots of reviews to do. I got all this goddamn electronic equipment. And I'm not going to do reviews on the juice. There's a gene or a defective chromosome or something, but men wait till the last second to do their Christmas shopping. So this is it. Work from a happy place with a cloud-connected Windows-based PC. Windows 10 in these computers, see right now it says Windows 8, but as you know, the Windows 10 upgrade is free. And the only problem that I had, once again, is that you have to use an ISO file from a flash drive in order to install it, which I already have on my, right here I have my little 128 gigabyte HP, flash drive. A lot of the stuff I buy is HP because at least if anything goes wrong with it, I know who to call. So anyway, all of these new computers come with Office 365, which basically is online Windows Microsoft Office. I wish that they would automatically install Office into these computers, and I wish they weren't trying to hit you for $160 to have it. But Hewlett Packard, they don't really have control over that. Windows, as Microsoft has control over that. But the way I see it is, because Microsoft Office is an absolute must-have in the business work environment and the school environment, it really should come pre-installed as part of Windows operating system. I have had Windows 10 pretty much since it was released, and I love Windows 10. And I hated Windows 8. I hated 8.1. I wasn't happy with 7. I was okay with Vista, and Windows 10 is the best operating system Windows has probably ever put out. But I really, really wish they would take the next step and simply include Microsoft Office with Windows and stop trying to, nickel and dime us. I really wish they would do that. So they give you 1 terabyte of online cloud storage. And some people are going to use that, some people aren't. I don't know where they have the hard drives for all this cloud storage, but, they must have really, really big servers somewhere. But 1 terabyte's actually pretty good. I use OneDrive because I have Xbox One, and this way I can store my gaming videos on Xbox One. But cloud storage, if you're storing on Hotmail or you're storing on the OneDrive Microsoft, that's actually a pretty good cloud service. I've been using it. I also use my Western Digital MyCloud, but I really like the OneDrive service because it's ubiquitous, it's easy to get to. Pretty much every computer is already ready to attach to it. So I'm actually happy with the quality of computing that I get out of HP and the quality of computing that I'm getting from Windows 10. So it's Christmas morning, and I've presented this gift. It's been open. The person who I gave it to really, really loved it and loved the color. Originally, I wish there was like a ruby red because that would have made them a little bit happier. But they really actually love this color too, because it's not even pink, it's magenta, they call it. And build quality is typical of HP. It's a very high build quality. I like the fact that all the ports are easy to see, they're easy to access. As you can see, it's 2 USB, 1 HDMI, and a stereo cable on one side. Then you have the power port and an SD expansion slot on the other side. Because of the fact that most of our things are going to be stored in the cloud anyway, most likely the SD card won't really be that big of a deal. So it came out of the box with no power left in it, so I just plugged it in real quick and I got it charging. The computer, when you're on Windows 8, the initial boot up time is actually pretty long. And once that is completely done with, they have optimized the software in Windows 10. And I was planning to install Windows 10 with this 128 gigabyte flash drive, but found out that this computer, as soon as it logs in to Windows and you've activated your account on it, it automatically knows it's time to download Windows 10. Thus far, the only disappointment I had was something I didn't realize in the store. The left and right click buttons are at the bottom edge of the touchpad. The touchpad in and of itself is a pretty large touchpad where you expect those buttons to be at the top. But as you can see, if you touch the upper left corner, nothing happens. And if you touch the bottom corner, now it gets actuated. I kind of thought that was a little bit odd. And to tell you the truth, I'm not happy with Apple Mac's new touchpads either. I'm really not happy with them. What I do is I plug in a mouse to them and I use that instead because I really don't like not knowing exactly where my left and right click are. But that's just me. Some people enjoy it. I don't like it. Okay, so setting up the PC, I decided I'd just name it Stream 11. And then I was thinking about designing it with a color instead of using the magenta or the red on here, because, I kind of felt that it would be a little bit confusing to the eye. Instead of using that, I just slid it right back to blue. That's a Windows color after all. But, it's nice to have the color palettes for personalization. Some people see colors better. Some people see different colors better. Then I also set up the Wi-Fi. Once the Wi-Fi is set up, the computer begins installing all the software. Everything is pretty much done in a way where even if you don't know much about setup processes, it pretty much does everything for you. The only thing you have to make sure you have is your Microsoft's Hotmail or MSN account username, and you have to make sure you have your password ready to go. As long as you've got those two things, setup takes just a couple of minutes. I would say you can be up and running within 10 minutes. And as you can see, I wasn't going to need my flash drive, because what they did was Microsoft has sent new updates to these computers that are on the market, because Microsoft is basically trying to wipe Windows 8 and 8.1 away. Even if you buy a computer recently that has Windows 7, there's an instant free upgrade to Windows 10. They desperately want to get the bad taste that Windows 8 and Windows 8.1 have left in our mouths out of our mouths for good. And let me tell you something. Windows 10 is easily the best operating system I've ever used. It's easier to use, in my opinion, than Mac OS. Now, when it comes to mobile OSs, I say iOS is the easiest operating system to use ever. The only thing about it is a lot of people don't like the customizability options, and some people don't like the restrictions. Windows has far fewer restrictions than iOS, but I really, really love the flow of Windows 10. If I was running Microsoft, or if I was running Apple, I could promise you that I would personally beta test every single brand new device, and I would ensure a better user experience. This thing had finished downloading the Windows 10 update on its own, only to tell me, after I had waited for about an hour, that the problem with the upgrade was that it didn't have enough space, which is something I had already expected, and that's why I mentioned it at the beginning of the video. Why would they have a 32 gigabyte SSD and know that you're going to have to update the thing, and know that you're not going to have enough space to update the thing? This reminds me of Apple, how the iPhone only had 16 gigabytes of space in some of the models, or 32 gigabytes of space, and the problem was they couldn't even download iOS 8 or iOS 9 simply because there wasn't enough space for the phone to create a temporary folder. If you're going to do your devices this way, you need to make it so that they can be backed up somewhere, whether it's local or on the internet, and you have to make sure that there's enough space for the temporary file that's going to come down onto this system so that it can overlay the original firmware and the original operating system. Fortunately, I had my 128 gigabyte memory stick sitting by, and I was able to pop that in. Then if you have one of these computers, you might have to do the same thing. But using that 128, what I did was I refreshed the system so that it recognizes the fact that I have the 128 gigabyte stick. Otherwise, it'll give you a warning because it won't notice it right away. Then you have to select the 128 gigabyte stick, and when you push refresh this time, the computer will understand, yes, you want to download the Windows 10 upgrade onto the stick first, so that ultimately it can be reinstalled into the computer. All of this could have been avoided if they had put more flash memory into it, or if they had left enough space available for any type of update of this type. And as you can see right here, we got the last dragon sitting by, sure enough. And basically, I would have made it so that these things had a minimum of 50 gigabytes. If not that, then they would have had 32 gigabytes that was user available space, rather than 32 gigabytes that's already compromised by the operating system already there. When you click on the drive that you use, whatever you do use, what you'll notice is a temporary file is created that allows you to install. While I am creating the temporary file on the computer for Windows 10, I can answer a question which I am 100% certain somebody is not going to fully watch the review and ask. Can it run Minecraft? Now, first of all, before I even get started, let me say that Minecraft is one of the most ridiculous games that I've seen in a long time. And it just speaks to the fact that I've always had a theory. In order to get rich, all you have to do is get stupid people to give you their money or their attention. And in order to stay rich, the only thing you have to do is keep the government out of your pocket. Minecraft is such a low-quality game that it's astounding that they were able to suck in all of these ADHD children out there and get them to sit there for hours upon end playing it while simultaneously not learning anything in school and then turning around to blame the useless Common Core for their failures in class. So anyway, Minecraft, there's two ways you can download it. There's two ways you can actually play it. One is to download the actual game off of Steam. And as you can see, this computer really doesn't have what it takes to run the full version from Steam. The other option is to play the Flash version, which is available online, which is a quickie download that any computer can play. And I've seen that Minecraft run on older computers that are still using Windows XP and have less than 1 gigabyte of RAM. So yes, it is possible to play Minecraft. You just might not be able to use the full version. As you can see, it is 12:03. So this is 2 hours approximately from when I unboxed it. I'm starting the Windows 10 upgrade at 12:03 now that the temporary file has downloaded. And I'm going to let you know as soon as it finishes the download and as soon as it finishes the full install, you'll see what time it is then. How long it took. It is now 2:18, and this thing finally finished upgrading. Finally, at 2:18. I wasn't expecting a 3-hour to 4-hour wait, but that's what I got. So just remember, if you buy one of these low-end computers that only has 32 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes of memory, if you have 64, you won't have a problem. But if you only have 32, and it still has Windows 8, just remember, you're gonna wanna also have a flash drive that gives you 32 gigabytes just so you can download and activate your Windows 10 free upgrade. So let's leave Katana on and let it finalize. And as it finalizes, everything should be good. But once again, you know, the wait is worth it because I already know Windows 10 is a fantastic operating system, so I don't even care about the wait. Now, once again, you can't really play Minecraft easily because Minecraft is a little bit graphic intensive, but other games like Counter-Strike and Command & Conquer, you won't really have much problem playing those. I've been looking at a couple of reviews of this computer on YouTube, and none of them have really taken you through the upgrade process. But I had started noticing a couple of complaints about the fact that the upgrade process was so problematic. One of the people who I read their comments said that there was no way that he could get Windows 10 to install in this, even when he tried to get rid of the bloatware that came from Hewlett-Packard. Now, Hewlett-Packard always uses like similar images of their own software, you know, like the basic game downloads and all this, and you know, the antivirus software. So the bloatware that they put on, even if you did take it out, it really wouldn't give you enough space to upgrade to Windows 10, because ultimately the problem is you damn near need a solid 20 gigabytes of free space to download the temporary file, rewrite the base hardware, and then to move on from there. So once again, it's 2:22 and we're still chugging along. And it'll be done in a minute, but so far so good. Okay, it is now 2:26. After a short while, the system jumps up and it is ready to go. And basically, as you can see, this is, you know, I have access to Xbox, the apps. I have access to Minecraft if I want to download the Xbox Live apps, etc., etc. So basically, right now, this computer is mirroring all of the settings on this girl's, on her Windows account. So everything is being mirrored right now. Now, what I could do, I might be able to show you how Counter-Strike works on here, because so far everything, in fact, I'll tell you, I also noticed it moved snappy, more snappy than it did when it had Windows 8.1. And even though this was all a clean install, the simple fact is 8 and 8.1 really don't work that well. And a lot of people have, it's funny because on, you know, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. I've had a lot of people attack some of the videos that I've made saying that Windows 8 and 8.1 sucked. And there have been a lot of people who right away agree with me because they've gone through it and they hate it. But there's a lot of other people who've attacked my claims that 8 and 8.1 really suck. And they, oh yeah, all you got to do is learn how to use it. No, fuck that. I expect to be able to use Windows the same way I've used Windows since Windows existed. I've had everything from like Windows 8, Windows 98, Windows 95. If Windows never changes the basic operating user interface, they'll never have a problem. But Windows 8 and 8.1 was designed for a tablet. It was not designed for a laptop or netbook, and it wasn't optimized for it. By changing basic things such as, where the damn start button is and having to right click it and left click it when you didn't expect to have to do that, that's just stupid. So basically, I'm just glad that everything's back to normal. Okay, so I've attached a Hewlett-Packard mouse to this computer, and instead of playing those dumbass fucking Minecraft games, let's get some real gaming going. Let's get Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike. Counter-terrorist win. Let's get some real shit going. Okay. It's a quickie installation. I downloaded this file, and I keep this file because this game pretty much works on just about any computer. And here you got like a 2 GHz Celeron, so you already know you're not going to have any problems here. And this game didn't require hardware acceleration, so this pretty much it works on just about anything you can think of. Yes, I would like it to be created. Thank you very much. Counter-Strike. This game will probably exist in some form or another for like ever. I mean, we were playing this game 20 years ago, for God's sakes. Between 15 and 20 years ago playing this game, and this game still has a massive following online. Now, Minecraft, I don't know the longevity of that. I mean, someday these kids with ADHD may wake up and they may realize, wait a minute, all I'm doing is running around in circles chopping fucking blocks. I don't know. Maybe these dummies will wake up and realize that. It may take years. It may take decades. I really don't know. You can't ask them to read a book. You ask them with this Common Core math bullshit. If you ask them what's 1 + 1, I swear to God, they will try to argue you down that 1 + 1 = 11. It's like, at least Governor Christie, I can't say much about, anything else he does, but at least Governor Christie had the balls to stand up and say we need to get rid of Common Core math. In fact, I think he said we need to get rid of Common Core English. We're facing a student population now that doesn't know Roman numerals. And that really hit home for me. A kid asked me, oh, could you buy me Grand Theft Auto IV? I was like, Grand Theft Auto IV? What the hell are you talking about? And he was like, no, Grand Theft Auto IV, it's a new game. Kid was asking for Grand Theft Auto 4. So when the video game industry realized that these kids were so stupid that they couldn't read Roman numerals because, it's not their fault. They're not being taught that. They're being forced this garbage curriculum. What they did was look at Grand Theft Auto 5. They actually printed the V, and then they printed 5 under it because they knew half of these idiots couldn't read. We're not teaching Roman numerals. We're not teaching, writing script. Ask some of these kids if you can sign your name and see what happens. I like technology and everything, but you cannot substitute reading and writing and counting for computer use with tablets. Yeah, these kids know how to install programs and play video games, but if you can't sign your name or read script, I think we have a problem. I heard a reviewer say that the 1366 by 768 screen wasn't that great. Now, granted, you won't be able to watch 1080p quality video on it. One of the other things he said was the contrast ratio wasn't that good. Well, listen, I'll tell you like this. For the average eyes, this display is bright enough and it is crisp enough for the average eyes. Now, if you're one of these people who really seriously can tell the difference between 60 frames per second and 30 frames per second while you're playing solitaire, well then, yeah, maybe you won't be perfectly satisfied. But as you can see, I'm looking at this screen, and perhaps it's Windows 10's font. Maybe that makes it easier to read everything. Oh, good. Counter-Strike finished installing. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so it says launch Counter-Strike when I exit, and that's it. And this flash drive, I love this little 128 gigabyte flash drive, but I'm going to buy a 256 gigabyte or 512 if one becomes available, because I like having access to all of these programs at any given point. Let's run us some Counter-Strike. Okay. Okay, so using one of my monitors and the HDMI input, let's attach to a server with this computer. And, oh shit, IP lockout. Alright. Oh, wait. Let's attach to a server. And, okay, there's nobody playing. Let's go to a server just to test it. But basically, I mean, Counter-Strike runs perfectly on Windows XP with a 1 gigahertz computer. So basically, there's really nothing to worry about. I mean, a lot of the older 1998, 1999, 2000 games, most of those will run perfectly on this computer. You can even play Quake Online with it, although I don't feel like downloading Quake Online. But you can run Minecraft, any of the online Java browser games, you should be able to run with no problem whatsoever. So let's just get into the match. I'm not even going to really play. I'm just going to walk around a little bit, let them kill me. I really don't care right now. I haven't played this game in a little while because I've been busy with Fallout 4. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get any new PC super games onto this computer. The only thing you're going to be able to run at the most is browser games. You should have no problem with browser games. So, you know, I'd have to say, overall, it's a pretty good investment. This is a pretty small, lightweight, 3-pound computer that most workers... Oh, shit. You've been disconnected. Fake client. What? Oh, damn it. I gotta go through it again. Let's see. Dust 2, 1.6. Shit. They disconnected me, the bastards. The battery will last longer than 5 hours, which is a good thing. There's no moving parts, there's no moving hard drive or anything, so you shouldn't have much of a problem at all with, like, lagging. Okay, let's see. Oh, forcing me onto terrace. Yeah, you shouldn't have much of a problem at all with lag. It's actually, because of the fact that it uses flash memory SSD, you really shouldn't have any problem with this thing at all. And if you ever have a hardware or hard drive corruption, you can simply reinstall all the operating system just like I did using the Windows 10 ISO. Yeah, you see, this game actually justifies its existence. Minecraft, I don't know what the hell these kids are playing. I don't know. Yeah, he did. Spray and pray. Yeah, this game runs perfectly even if you have a Pentium 3 450 megahertz. You could have a Pentium 2, in fact. A Pentium 2 233 megahertz this game was designed on. You know. A lot of people are playing Global Initiative now. But, you know. So that's about it. This review is gonna cap out at about 30 minutes. And I'm gonna upload it. It'll probably either upload in 1080p first and then 4K later. But it really doesn't matter. 1080p is fine for me. Okay? So this is what you're looking at. Okay, now I'm in. I'm gonna just run up to somebody and Glock them. I'm not even gonna buy any weapons. I'm just gonna find the first person and shoot them up. Let's see. Somebody's getting shot. Die! 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 Damn it. Oh well. So ends this review. If you have any questions, just let me know.